Okay, hello everyone. My name is Suharyanto. Just call me Harry, and now I would like to share my review video about the material that we have covered for this week 2. Mostly we are talking about collaborative learning activity. And the first thing that I want to say is I really appreciate the material that was shared by Petri, and there are many example of collaborative technique that I can found, and one of them that really inspiring for me is Socratic seminar. When I read about this Socratic seminar and then after that I watched the video about it, I was really interesting about it, and I do really my best to try it in my classroom activity. And another thing that is also really interesting for me is jigsaw. Yeah, actually I have already know about this jigsaw technique long before this, how do I say, this course. And then after the material that was shared by Petri, I understand more about it and how to conduct the class using jigsaw. And after, last week actually I have already implemented for jigsaw technique, and it was really, how do I say, it was really interesting, fun, and also my students get involved a lot in my activity, in the classroom activity, not only just being the student, not only being just teacher center. However, when I used jigsaw, the student center was really implemented. And I remember with the podcast of Nancy that when we are doing collaborative teaching and learning activity, it means like we are not being a sheriff anymore as a teacher, but we are becoming collaborator with the students, because it's really hard to be sheriff, to make sure that everybody's under control under our command. It's really difficult and hard. So that's why when we are using this kind of jigsaw technique, and also this kind of, how do I say, Socratic seminar, it means that we are move on from the teacher centered into student centered. However, of course, there are some challenges that we need to overcome. Of course, last week I have tried to implemented these two, jigsaw and Socratic seminar. In the jigsaw technique, maybe there were not a lot of problem in the classroom that I have. However, when I try to implement the Socratic seminar, it's more challenging, because it's really hard to make sure that every students that I have, especially who become the students who sit in the inner circle, wanted to speak up and share their idea. Mostly when I started using this kind of technique, I need to ask more and more to my students. I don't know, maybe because they are really shy or not, but I reflected that because my students, they are mostly, sorry, I'm teaching in English classroom, of course, and this semester I teach in the first year students, so mostly their English ability is not really high. I mean, it's not intermediate enough. So that's why I was thinking that maybe it was because the language barrier, that makes them, how do I say, uh, not really confident to share their idea during the Socratic seminar. However, of course, this is the challenge that we need to overcome. It's like what Petri say, I cannot give up in my teaching learning activity. I have tried the Socratic seminar, whether it is very challenging, but of course what I need to do next is I have to make sure that my students can improve their speaking ability first, and then after I'm sure that their speaking ability is improved well, I think that the Socratic seminar can be implemented better than the last time I used this. I mean last week that I used, because yeah, the language barrier is the first thing that I need to overcome here in my classroom. And another thing that I would like to share is about the assessment process in this kind of collaborative learning activity, I remember during the discussion in the in Zoom meeting that we had last week, it's really hard for me, of course, when I implemented this kind of collaborative learning, such as Jigsaw and also Socratic Seminar. At the same time, I need to assess my students. I need to give the mark or score with their performance, because there are many things that I have to confirm that everything should going well. And then there are many students, for example in Jigsaw, many group and many students speak together at the same time. It's really hard for me to make an assessment. So that's why I decided that when I did this kind of collaborative learning activity, I maybe I will a little bit forget about the assessment. I just want to make sure that the teaching learning process was going well. Everybody's getting involved. They have the, how do I say, the balance of their involvement. I think it is more enough to be appreciated. And regarding to the assessment, I can do that in another times. So that's the thing that maybe I can share to you. Hopefully that I can still learn more about this collaborative learning, because I'm sure that it is really important for us as a teacher. I think that's all of my reflection. Thank you so much and see you.